definitely think that you've captured his likeness and his character here. Um, a couple things to be careful of anatomy-wise here. Look at the curve of his head, how from the eyebrow down it kind of comes down. Here's his ear. His ear should definitely be lower down. The placement here where you have it, his ear is okay, but in relationship to the rest of the head, it's up too high. So we need to pull this down a little bit. And it's probably okay if his ear goes down a little bit lower, but it's going to look strange if it's up too high. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of sketch that in real quick. So next thing is I think that overall you could definitely have spent a lot more time on this. I think that this still feels very much like a sketch rather than a finished drawing. You're close, and the reason I said it feels like a sketch is because you've got some basic things right here, but there's also a lot that could be worked on. Tom Hanks doesn't have a huge mouth. It's not this massive mouth. So I definitely would take away some of the focus here on the mouth and not give it as much attention. He is known, however, for having sort of a larger bulbousy type nose. It's not like so huge. Certain shots, certain angles, it definitely looks bigger, but you could get away with making the nose a little bit larger. And I'm kind of lightly erasing over this because I want to try to work on some of the structure here. Okay, so his nose, I think overall your shape is really good, but again, I think you can spend a lot more time actually looking at the shapes a little bit more closer. The shape of the nostril, for example. And then when it comes to the eyes, you're sort of there with the eyes, but again, the eyes and the mouth are probably the most important thing to get right. So again, you need to slow down and really look at those shapes. Look at the shape between the eyes and the eyebrows. Okay, there's very distinct shapes there. You don't want to just draw whatever shape. You want to draw his shape. Next, look at the shape of the eyebrow. Very distinct shape of the eyebrow there. Also, remember there is a skull under all this. And you were close with the shapes here, but you want to try to really just keep in mind that there is a skull. So we want to look at the curves there. And make sure those are right. When it comes to the other eye, again, you're very close, but you can slow down a little bit more, become a little bit more accurate, especially with the relationship between the eye and the eyebrow. This side of his face also needs some work. And really, truthfully, what I would do here is take this and bring it down a little bit more, giving him more forehead and less weight on the bottom. He doesn't need so much weight on the bottom. But you could definitely exaggerate his forehead a little bit more if you were going to exaggerate something. And again, with the mouth, you want to slow down with the mouth. Really look at the character and the design of his mouth. You're very close with it, but you know, definitely can spend a little bit more time looking at that, at the shapes here. Like, what is his mouth really doing here? So, and I see the side of his head is kind of doing like this kind of a thing, and then let's simplify those shapes. It kind of comes out more like this. Okay, and he does have a double chin here. Okay, and when it comes to the body, you know, again, it's not something you just, you know, you got to make sure the head to body connection feels right, looks natural. You got to learn how to draw clothing, and you know, make that all feel a little bit more natural. When it comes to the hair, the top of the hair here, I would simplify these shapes a little bit more, but still try to capture the main shape that, you know, you're seeing here, which is something a little bit more like that. Alright, so anyway, let's simplify these a little bit more. Okay. Alright, so like I said, you were very, very close, I think, and I think you did very well. I'm going to crop this. I think you did very well, but you can see here from the changes how the likeness is basically the feeling. The likeness is there in your version, okay, but the feeling and the likeness improves and the character improves with these changes here. I'm hopefully, sorry, you can see what I'm saying here. You know, try to simplify your shapes and be a little bit more. I mean, like for example, if you look at the silhouette here, there's like a shape here that's just, it's a little bit more exciting shape-wise. Okay, we're kind of pushing the shapes a little bit more here, making this a little bit more exciting to look at. Okay, a little bit more dynamic. So anyway, let me save a copy of this for you, and we'll talk soon for lesson 2. Overall, great work, and we'll talk soon.